Guys, are you able to hear me? Ramesh, Teja, Dhanraj.
Audible.
Okay, then fine. So yesterday we discussed about the events, right? So then now today we can discuss about the event listeners, JavaScript event listeners, how we can handle with the event listeners. So same thing. So whatever we are used to the events, click on, click, mouse over. So all those things we can use with the event listener also. It's a event listener is a method. Okay, so JavaScript default method. So then we can see so two examples in that. So then it9.html. So here it is. So removing all these things. So previous code. JS event listeners. Okay, now we can see so how we can use with on click. Where is this one? Here it is, our script. So first one, so do we have my div is the ID element, and we have a button. So after this div, so we can write the button. Okay. So in this div, JavaScript event listeners example. Okay. So then we can see. You can see now script document dot get element by ID. So then here, so what is my div dot add event listener. Okay, previously we are writing the so dot inner html we write. Okay, so then now we are writing a method called add event listener. So inside this we are calling the events. Okay, so then click. Okay, now after this one, so we can write like this. So alert welcome to event listeners. Then colon. Okay, now we can see. So which one we are trying to click here? So this is the ID. So we are not written this one. ID equal to my click. Okay. So when we click on this one, now you can see add event listener JS 89.html. Okay. So by default, it is coming, right? So we are not calling the function. So whenever, so we are saying so that. Okay. So then, so if you want to call the function, so then we can call the function. So then my function. So can we call like this? Can we call like this? So we will say function. So then my function. So then inside this one, so document dot get element by id, get element by id. So then my div dot dot, so inner html equal to, so then welcome to event listeners. We will say now. What happened? Click to animate, click to event. So then document dot get element by id. So then my click, same thing, dot event listener, click my function. So it is not calling. All right. So then we can try with a callback method. Right? Got it? No errors. Okay. So then when we reload this one, so JavaScript event listener example. Okay. So then here I am adding either h2. Okay. So I am adding in h2. So closing h2, I am removing these files. Okay. Now you can see it. Okay. JavaScript event listeners example. When I click on this one, so then welcome to event listeners escape. Right? So this way, so that means, so we cannot call the normal functions. We cannot call the normal functions. In event listeners, we can call only. So what are these methods? What is this method? We have to call only callback methods. When we call this type of things, so these things are called the callback methods. So in add event listener methods, we can call only callback methods. We can call only callback functions. So the same way, so if you want to display date, same thing. So date of, okay. So this way we can call it. So at the same time, so we are having the other methods also. What are the other methods? So mouse click and mouse over and mouse out, right? So mouse over means, so when we hover on that one, so then it will display. Okay. So then same thing, mouse out, mouse out. Okay. So adding, hovering. So when we leave the mouse from this button, then the event will trigger. Okay. So this way we can call. Okay. So these things are called the event listeners. Event listeners. Clear? So what is the difference between previous one events and this one? What is the difference between previous events and event listeners? Tell me. So previously we are writing here only for button. We are writing either on click, mouse over, or other thing. But here, so we are calling the JavaScript ID. Based on that, so we are doing the events previously. So what is the events and event listeners difference? So for event, so we are writing the here only. So on click. So then we are calling these type of things, right? So this way we can call. Okay. So any method, so we are calling in the HTML elements for events. So then event listeners, so no need to call this JavaScript events in the HTML element. So directly, so we can call from the JavaScript document.get element by ID. So then all the events we can call from here only JavaScript only. So that is the difference between events and event listener. So other than that, so everything is same. Okay, everything is same, right? So then next one is, so as discussed previous in the, what is this one? In first one, yes, this one. So here, which one is the root element? So which one is the root element? Here, document is the root element for all. So for a document, which one is the parent? A window is the parent, right? So window is the parent. So then we can see which one is the child element, which one is the parent element here. So for suppose when we write one simple HTML example, 90.html, so then doc type, so then HTML, so then head, so then inside title we are having, okay, so HTML DOM elements, DOM element, navigation, okay, so then body, okay, so inside body we are having the paragraph element, so the above div element also there, so inside div we are having the multiple paragraphs, okay. So another paragraph is there, okay, here child 2, okay, so the next one child 1, so this one is the parent of paragraph, okay, so body is the parent of all the HTML DOM elements, okay, HTML DOM elements here. So then now you can see here is the, so HTML is the parent element for all the DOM elements. Here head is the parent of child of head is the child of HTML and body is the child of HTML. So then title is the child of head. Okay, title is the child of head. Head is the parent of title. Head is Head is the parent of title. So here body is the parent of div and paragraphs if any things are there. So body is the parent for all the DOM elements. Whatever we are displaying inside of these things. Okay. So then how we can find these things? How we can find these things? Okay. So first one is that this called is the, so head body is the parent for all the DOM elements. So then here inside this we are having the nodes and node list. So inside these things are called the nodes and nodes list. So first one is the nodes. So what is nodes? So what is nodes? So when we create a, so all these inside these things are called the div is one node, paragraph is one node. Okay, so then how we can add the nodes and how we can remove the nodes inside of body element. Okay, inside of body element, how we can add and how we can remove. Okay, so for every element, so if you want to, for suppose here I want to add another one child 3, I want to add I want to add child 3 element inside of this one. So how we can add? First we have to create the element, right? So then after that, so if you want to add any text inside of that one, so then we can add that one. So then, so we can append we can append to that element. So then you can see now how we can create element. So first script. Okay, so then now I want to create, so let, for suppose, new elm. Okay, new elm means new element. So document dot create element. So what type of element we want to create? A paragraph I want to create it. Okay, so this way is called the create element. So whenever we are discussing the DOM element, so first thing, so we can create the elements, we can remove the element, right? So same thing. So now we are created the paragraph element, one new paragraph element we created. So then after that we can append some text to this, right? Let mm, new txt equal to new document, sorry, document dot document dot create create text node, create text node. Okay, so then here is my new paragraph. Okay, so this is my text. So I want to append this text, to paragraph, right? So then what is my new paragraph? New element, right? New element that, so then append child, then, so what is text? New txt. Okay, new txt, right? So then we can see now, so 90.html, right? So this coming up, coming up. So here is my new paragraph, where it is coming, it is not saying, right? What happened? Yes, we are appending this one, but we cannot add anyway. So we have to add somewhere, right? So then now document dot, sorry, let let my my elements equal to document dot get element by get element by id. So then there it is. So for suppose, for this one I am giving one id equal to my div, my div. So then here it is my div, I'm getting the values. So then I am appending this one to that one. So then my elements dot, so not required, my elements dot append child, append child. So then where is this one? New element. Then we can see, is it added or not? Here is my new paragraph. So if you want to add anything, so we can add it. Okay. For suppose same thing. So then, so if you want to add in play in between of, so 0 and 1. So child 1 and child 2. So I want to add in between of them. Okay, I want to add in between of them. So then how we can. Okay, so then first one is, where is this one? So we have to get the elements. Where is? Yes, here it. So here it is. So then we have to get the first. We have to get the based on ID. Okay, so how to get the based on ID. So then how we can get this one? So first we have to create a new element. We already created new element. Up to here we already created. So these two lines are where we have to append this one. So for which div element we have to append. For suppose here, so two divs are there. Two divs are there. Okay, so for suppose I want to add in this one. So my div 1 and my div. Where is this one? Here I am creating the style hash my div 1. So border 1 pixel solid array. Okay. So then next one is, so my div hash my div border, so 1 pixel solid. So then 0 0. Right. So if I want to append to this one, so then how we can append? So what is the ID? So this is the ID. So then if we can give, sorry, if we can give this one, so then that a new element will add in this. Okay, now you can see. Okay, so for suppose, so I have a paragraph one, ID equal to P1. So then ID equal to P2. Okay, ID equal to P1 and P2. So then, so for suppose I want to add first element. So then again I want to get, again sorry, I want to get, so let IP1 equal to document dot. Okay, so get element by document dot get element by ID. Okay, so then, so P1. Okay, so this is the first paragraph. So then I can append, I want to insert now. Okay, so now I am inserting the element. So my elements dot insert before, insert before. Okay, insert before. So then which one we have to add it? So where is my new element? So new element. So then comma. So then my P1. Okay, now we can see. Okay, here it is the first place. Okay, so then if you can see, if you can take the P2 here, then now you can. Okay, so this way we can append this one, append the, so where we want, if you want to add in first place, so if you want to add in last place, by default it is automatically add the end of the nodes. So these are called the nodes now. Okay, so these paragraphs is called the nodes. Okay, these paragraphs are the called the nodes. So then, so if you want to add the element in between of nodes, so then we can use the insert before. So if you want to add the last, so just we have to use the append child method. Okay, so then now how we can remove this one? How we can remove this one? So then where is this one? So here it is. So then we are removing the element. Where is this one? Here it is. Document that we are creating a button. So then close or remove element. Okay, remove element. So then we are having the on click. So then my function. Okay, so yes, created. So then now here I am creating the function, my function. So inside document dot get element by id, get element by id. So then here it is p1 dot remove. Okay, it is a method. Where it is? Here it is. So then button. Okay, so p1 is deleted now. P1 is deleted now. Okay, so then after that there is no P1, so that's why we are getting the cannot read the properties of null. So there is no P1, right? So that's why, so it is raising the error. So if you are having the P1 ID, so then you can remove. For suppose if you want to remove all the elements, so we will try. So document dot get elements by tag name. So then we can call it as P. Okay, tag names remove is not a function. Okay, get elements by tag name. So then all the p elements, so we can arrange. Okay, clear. So this is the way we can check the nodes. Okay, so this way we can add a node and we can remove a node. Clear. So then, so inside of these things, all these things are called, so these things are called the node list, and all this tree structure is called the collection of element. All this tree structure is called the collection of elements. Okay, clear. For suppose if you want to collect an element, for suppose if you want to append a child, if you want to append any, if you want to, for suppose here I have a child one, I have a child one, so I want to add a text, I want to add a text for this one. So how we can add it? Okay, so child 1 is there. So I can append some text to child 1. So by default, we are having a method called document.getElement by ID, right? So by default, we are having a methods called, I am commenting all these things. So by default, what we are having, so let, so my new element r. So when I click on function, same function I can use. So when I have this function, okay, so I'm calling add, commenting this one. So then I have a, okay, append, append text, okay, append text. So I have a function, my function document dot get element by id, document dot get element by id, id. So then p1, so then so dot inner html, so equal to, so we are completely removing and we are adding the new text, new child. Okay, new child one. So here, see, by default we are having the child one, then when we click on this one, so completely that one is removing and inserting the new text, right? So I want to append some text to the child one. Okay, so then how we can? So first Okay, so here it is. Document dot get elements by tag name. Elements by tag name. Okay, equal elements by tag name. So paragraph. Okay, so paragraph. Then plus. Okay, so these are the collections. How many elements we are having? So let so my collection equal to, so these are the collection of elements, so we are collecting all the paragraph elements. Okay, so we are collecting all the paragraph elements. So then I want to append some tags. So document dot get element by id. So p1 dot inner html. So adding new child element text. Okay, so then plus. Okay, so where is this one? My collection of. So then either one dot inner html. Now you can see. Okay, see this one. Adding new child one element text to child two. Where is this one? To child two. Clear. So this is the way. So we are adding the new element. Okay. So then if we can put alert in this one, alert, 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 see what we are getting, what we are getting. See, child 2 is coming, right? Child 2 is coming. So we are adding complete text. We are taking this complete text. We are taking this complete text and adding to this P1 element and adding to this P1 element. Okay. So first suppose what is this number? So this is if we can take the 2, so then we are getting the child 1. Okay. Clear? So this way we can append the text to that element. This way we can append. So this way is called the, so this way is called the collection of element. Okay. If we can, if we can, if we can collect more than one element, so that way is called the collection of element. Okay, collection of DOM elements. Okay, so the next one, node list. What is node list? So collect the all the nodes, then if you can extract from the document, if you can extract from the dom extract from the document, so then that type of things are called the node list. Okay, clear? So this one, this one is called the collection, and this one is called the node list. Okay, clear? So these are the DOM elements. So these are the DOM elements. Clear? Any doubts in this one, DOM elements? So the next one is the regular expressions. So we already discussed the previous two methods. So what is that one? Case sensitive and global methods we already discussed. Okay, whenever we are discussing the arrays methods and string methods, right? So then now we can see, so all the methods, what methods we can use in JavaScript. Okay, so a regular expression is a sequence of characters that from a search patterns, and search pattern can be used for a text search or text replace operations. Okay, so then when you search your data in a text, so you can use this search pattern to describe what you are searching for. So basically, so these regular expressions, so we can search the data from the database, or so we can get the whatever user entered inputs in the form. Okay, whatever user entered the inputs in the form, so then we can get that data and we can validate. So for that purpose we can use the regular expression. Okay, two ways we can use. One is getting the data from the database, and another one is getting the data from the document. So for these two purposes we can use the regular expression. So basically a regular expression syntax is like this. Regular expressions is syntax is like this. So here it is the pattern means, so if you want to digits, if you want to text, or if you want to combine the text with digits, so that is called the pattern. What type of pattern you are going to set, what type of pattern you want to validate. Okay, so that is the pattern. So then modifiers is that case sensitive or not. We are checking the is that case sensitive or not. So you are searching the pattern, so by globally or so in a single line. So this is the syntax where we are using the regular expression. So pattern, so these codes we have to give. So without these codes this pattern won't work. Okay, so pattern and modifiers. Okay, so then, so all the whatever regular expressions, so all those methods we already discussed in arrays only, arrays and string formats only. For suppose first one is the string search. String search allows the regular expressions. String search allows the regular expressions. So then we can see where it is. Here it is. 91.html. So then doc type, so then HTML, so then